Oh my god. So, working on it. Oh my gosh. I had like, it's just amazing how much I have gone through growing up, and yet still have a head on my shoulders, never been in jail, never, did anything that would compromise me, compromise my future, never did anything that would, get me hurt or into big trouble, never did any of that stuff. And it's just, looking back through all the crap I've been through, it's just like, wow, most people, a good amount of people would have turned the other way, would have done stupid stuff. Very few people like me wouldn't have, would go do their own path, do their own thing. No. But, there was this girl, I mean, she's ugly girl. Freaking ugly little girl, and her name was Amanda. Ugly girl. Oh my god. So, when you're young, and my first encounter with this girl was, I most likely had to be like in first grade. I had to be in first grade or something. Now, when you're a kid, you don't know better. You don't know appropriate social skills. You don't know the right words to say. I mean, come on, you're like 6, 7 years old. I mean, no one's expecting you to have a good form vocabulary. No one's expecting you to know what ignorant or immature means. I mean, you're 7 years old, you're in first grade, You're like learning how to form a letter, sentences, things like that. Maybe some math skills, but that's it. Um, so I will admit my first encounter with this chick wasn't a good one. But then again, what she did after that was completely uncalled for. Oh my god. This girl, so like I said, I didn't know better, okay. But I remember it was recess, and I remember I was playing tag, or I was playing some game with a guy friend of mine, who I sadly have no contact with, so Sean Roberts, if you remember me and you remember going to Sullivan School, hit me up. Anywho, so he and we were playing, everything was fine. I remember going up on this play set, like, how you have, like, when you go on a playground, you have a play set that consists of, like, 4 slides and maybe a monkey bar set, things like that. Well, that was one. I remember it was blue. So I remember jumping on it, I'm getting on it, and I'm running, and I'm like, looking back, oh my god, he's gonna get me. He's gonna get me. And in doing so, I had accidentally bumped into her. And I remember what she was wearing. She had short hair. She had pigtails. She was in even a sort of like dark pink, possibly magenta raincoat, and it was like the glossy kind, It was like the old fashioned glossy kind, and I had accidentally bumped into her, and I'm laughing, and I'm like, what? And I said, oh my god, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bump into you. But you gotta move, he's gonna get me. We're playing a game, he's gonna get me, And this girl doesn't even bat an eye. This girl just looks at me like blank, like no expression, no nothing. And she's looking at me and she's like, doesn't bat an eye, shows no emotion, shows no expression on her face, doesn't say anything, just standing there, just looking at me. And basically I'm waiting for a response to go, what the heck's your problem? Or like, get away from me. I'm thinking that response, because that's usually the response I would get, I was expecting that one. The next thing I know, out of nowhere, like, again, no expression on her face changes. She literally grabs me. And I'm not talking about like, like this. I'm talking about, when you see the movies when they grab you by the shirt. Well, not grab you, but they grab the person. But that's what she did. She grabs me like I have absolutely no time to respond. It was out of nowhere. No time to respond. No time to react. It happened like so quickly. Next thing I know, she literally like yanks me to like her left and literally like shoves me shoves me down to where I'm hitting like the next platform. So basically when you head on it, it's like a stair or a platform, wherever so you will get on that, climb on that platform and then get on another platform just to get to like the main floor of where you can go on the slides or go on the monkey bars, that main area. And she literally throws me down, shoves me down. She says, "Get away from me, you oddball," and then walks off. And then my friend Sean, he comes. He goes, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah," because I'm in pain. Like I wasn't expecting that. I mean, yes, I bumped into her, and yes, I was laughing, but it wasn't at her. I was laughing. Even I explained to her, "Hey, you gotta move. He's gonna get me. He's chasing me. Sorry, I didn't mean to bump into you, but you gotta move." That's all I said. Okay, maybe that wasn't the right response, but again, you're 7 years old. You're in first grade. You don't understand, the correct and appropriate way to apologize. Hey, by the time you get older, you realize that an apology, doesn't always fix stuff, doesn't always work. But then again, I could come in and say, I didn't deserve that. Again, I was expecting a response like, "Get away from me." Like, what the heck's your problem? Walk away and like, go, like, screw you too and go on my way. That was it, and he was asking, "What happened?" I said, "Freaking ugly gorilla girl threw me." He goes, "What?" And I said, "Don't worry, I'll be fine. Can we play something else?" And I don't remember what happened next. I think we ended up playing something else until it was time to go back. I don't know. Ugly little girl. I mean, yeah, okay. Bumped into her. Sorry. Didn't mean to. You know. I mean, if anything, if she wasn't gonna move, I would most likely like, okay, I'm gonna go this way then. You know. But yeah, she freaking shoved me. And then the next time I had an encounter with her was like, it was at a store, and I was like, it was the summer where I was going to be going into third grade. And I remember this because it happened to be a Disney movie coming out, Lilo and Stitch. And whenever a movie comes out, doesn't matter what movie it is, you promote it. You sell merchandise from the movie to promote the movie. And I remember because the day before we were going to go to Disneyland. And my aunt and my uncle were going to tag along, and my aunt tagged along with my mom, myself to go pick up things for the trip. And I was in the toy section, and I had found a Lilo doll. And it was the doll that if you moved her arms, her hula skirt would go up and down, and she would play music, and she would talk too. So she would dance. So she would dance and everything. And I'm looking at her, I'm like thinking to myself, oh, let me show this to my mom. Maybe she'll buy it for me. This is neat. This is awesome. And so I'm looking at her, and all of a sudden the girl, about nearly a year and a half later after my first encounter with her, she literally, makes conversation with like, she's cool, isn't she? She could talk and everything. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I knew it was the girl, but I didn't say anything to her. I just like, okay, cool. Whatever. And I started to notice she was coming towards me. Now, at first I thought, okay, she's probably just going to walk past me. No biggie, And she then keeps talking like, I have one just like her at home. My parents got it for me. And, and I know she's a little bit older now, and she's wearing like a black shirt, and she's got jeans on, typical attire for summer, because it was summer. And she literally comes straight up to me, and I can feel her hands, coming at the toy. Now mind you, it's in my hands, and she's trying to take it from me. My mom and dad said I can get another one. And seeing that this girl obviously has not changed her ways, but not wanting to be a fool again, I then sort of take the toy away from her. Sort of get away from me. Get your hands off what I have in my hand, because I hate that. I hate when I have stuff in my hand and people try to take it from me. I hate that. So I, moved back, got it out of her hand, and I kind of gave her a dirty look, get the hell away from me. And I walked away, trying to find my mom. I'm like, okay, well, where would she be? I mean, there's a clothing store, there's the book section, there's a place where you can put stuff on layaway or customer service, things like that. Where could she be? Because I knew she was with my aunt. So I'm going up and down the aisles of different departments. I'm going in different departments to find her. And this girl reappears again, harassing me. Your mom and dad aren't going to get you that toy. You might as well put it back. Like, leave me alone. Like, what did I do? Okay, yeah, I bumped into you, but dang, if you're going to hold a grudge like that over something so innocent, dang, you really need to go get help or something, because, geez. I finally found my mom, and I said, Mommy, get this for me. She's like, no, because we're going to go to Disneyland, and you're probably going to get the same thing there. We never got, my brother wanted Stitch, he didn't get Stitch, and I wanted, they were selling the toys, but we didn't know where. And by the time we found out where, they were sold out. What do you expect? Not only that, they're going to be like 1,000 times more expensive there. What do you expect? You can buy one for cheaper, for $100 cheaper, $100 less. But anywho, I'm trying to convince my mom, come on, It wasn't like, oh, I don't want that girl to get it. It was like, Mom, come on, let's be honest here. What if they don't have it there? And this grown woman, she literally comes up to us, and she starts petting the Leela. Oh, can I have her? I'm like, get the hell away. This is mine. Leave me alone. What is it with this toy? Damn. Like, my God, leave me alone. Jeez. Finders, keepers, losers, weepers. I got it first. Okay? Go get yours own or something. I don't know. Leave me alone. I called it. I have it. Leave me be. But dang. But yeah, and this girl, we ended up having the same class together in 3rd grade. And I had to deal with her constant harassing left and right. What did I do? Literally, it could be a pencil in my hand. I remember at one point, she tried to make it look like I was a thief. I took her Scooby-Doo bookmark. And I wasn't having. I said, look, you already took enough from me. You're not taking this because this is mine. She goes, yes, it is. I said, we both know that's mine. I asked for it from Miss So-and-so. Okay, you just want it because I have it. Everything I have, you want. I don't know why. She goes, I'm going to tell the teacher. I said, go ahead, and I'm going to tell her the same thing I'm telling you. I got it from the teacher. And she's coming, and the teacher's coming after me, and she goes, you need to give it back to her. I said, no, I'm not. This is mine. I got it from Miss So-and-so. I even asked her if I could have one. You can even ask Miss So-and-so. She goes, oh, is there any way to talk to me? I'm like, I'm telling the truth. You're accusing me of something I didn't do. She goes, well, if I tell the teacher, if I ask her and she says no, you're going down to the principal's office. I said, be my guest. She's going to tell you the truth. Be my guest. And then I see them both go to the teacher, and I'm watching. I'm like, haha, she's going to say yes. And lo and behold, I saw the teacher goes, yes, she did. Shaking her head. Yes, she did. She asked. And you can see the teacher's face like, golly, great. Because she hated me. That 3rd grade teacher hated me. I'll tell you, I'll do a segment on what this teacher did to me. She was no saint. But I could see this girl, she was disappointed because she was sad because she couldn't take it from me. So because she couldn't take it from me, that was it. And then, fast forward later, now I'm like, maybe in 5th grade, somewhere after 5th grade, I don't know. But this girl would harass me left and right, outside of school, inside of school. It's like, leave me alone. I'm not in your class no more. Go away. And it got to a point where I had enough. I tried to be the good guy. I tried to ignore her. I've done everything. But once she started to put her hands on me, that was it. One time I was like, you know what? She was like calling me out. Not only that, let me tell you something. There was one time she hid my lunchbox. This girl was so evil. She one day took my lunchbox, and this was since the third grade, and puts it in the first grade one. Now, the first time I didn't know where it was. I didn't want my mom getting mad because it was like every time when I lost something, she would get mad. So I didn't want her getting mad, and I found it. It turned out it was put in the first grade basket, and I ended up getting it. I'm like, okay, all right, this is mine. Okay, I don't know how it got there, but all right. Maybe I put it there on accident, which I highly doubt it, but, I'm not going to dwell on it. And one of the girls from my class actually said, hey, did you find your lunchbox? I said, yes, I did. And she goes, well, Amanda, I know why it got in the first grade basket. And I was like, how did you know you put it how it was in the first grade basket? She goes, because I saw Amanda take it and put it in. I said, really? She goes, yeah. And I said, okay, well, thank you for telling me, and I'll keep a lookout. She goes, okay. She was a bit of a mean girl, too. Well, she was one of the followers, but it was like, okay, I'll keep that in mind. Sometime later after that, this girl, Amanda, does it again. This time she didn't know I saw her. I'm like, okay, you want to play that game? I can play that game, too. So I took my lunchbox, put it back in the third grade. I took her lunchbox, so I knew exactly what it was. And I did it even, I stepped it up a notch. I believe I put it in the lost and found. Put it in the lot, buried it and everything. I'm like, if you want to play games with me, I'll play games with you, but I'll take it up a notch just to let you know, do not mess with me. And she was crying and my parents were so mad, it's not there. And I'm like, what happened? She's like, my lunchbox. And I said, did you put it in the basket? She goes, yeah, I put it in the basket. Blah, blah, blah. And I said, are you sure? She goes, yes. My parents are going to be so mad, they're going to ground me. And I said, oh, I'm sure you'll find it. Who knows? Maybe it's buried. And I walked away. I'm like, your fault. Shouldn't have messed with me. Yeah, okay, it wasn't the best response. What do you expect? I was like, it was like 9. 9 being constantly bullied over nothing. And then, okay, back to where I was talking about before, where I guess I got tired of her. She was calling me names, and she literally started following me, harassing me, and I'm walking. And I guess me ignoring her, walking away was not okay. She wasn't getting the reaction she wanted. She actually pushes me. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Pushes me again. I'm like, if she pushes me one more time, I'm going to hit her, and I will hit her good. Does it again. And I turn around, and it was like she thought, oh, she's going to get me. I didn't care. I went up to her, grabbed her by the hair, yanked it back. She's like, ah, and I just hit her. Pow! Sorry. Maybe it wasn't wasn't the right way to go about it, but you know what? You're going to put your hands on me. You're going to hit me. I'm going to hit you back. That's what my mom says. They hit you, you hit them back. Of course, she would get mad when I would do that, but I was following advice, and I did it. I hear it. I didn't know where I hit her. I just hit her. I knew I made contact. Pow! And she said, huh, huh, huh. And I said, don't you ever mess with me. Don't you ever touch me again. You ever touch me again, I'm going to hit you really hard again. Next time, you're not going to like it. Don't you ever touch me again. And I walked away. And one of my friends on his back, he's going, oh my God, it was awesome. I'm like, what's so awesome? He's like, dude, you know what she said? You know what you did? And I said, yeah, I hit her. I pulled her hair and I hit her. What's the big deal? She's like, you gave her a bloody nose. I'm like, I did? He goes, yeah. I'm like, oh, I didn't know. I just hit. I really wasn't in it. I just hit, pow. She goes, yeah, you know what she said? I said, what'd she say? She goes, that freak pulled my hair. Oh my God, of all the things she could have said, she just said that. He goes, yeah. And then he says, oh, you better get home quick because I hear her brother's looking for you. And I'm like, let him come. I'll hit him the same way I hit her. I don't care. So I literally was like, because I lived in an apartment building. I was literally like about to go inside my apartment building, and I hear someone like stop. I didn't think anything of. He goes, "Hey!" Turn around. He goes, "You hit my sister?" And I said, "So what if I did?" And I said, "So what if I did?" He goes, "If you hit her, I'll kill you." And I said, "Yeah, yeah." I said, "Yeah, yeah, whatever." And went inside. And obviously, I guess he didn't think I was scared. Like, he didn't think anything of it because I was literally in, like, once I got in, I went in the hallway. And I'm, like, standing right there waiting for him to come, like, do something quick. Do something. Never did anything. Didn't come after me. Didn't say anything after that. I never saw these kids again. After that, it was just so funny acting all tough. Yet he's worse to her. Like, golly, like such a hypocrite. You know, some people was like, "Oh, well, that's a brother. You protect your family." Yeah, you're only doing it because you're the only person who could bully them. That doesn't make it right. Doesn't make sense either. But yeah, freaking ugly gorilla girl. Jeez, she was so disgusting. Like, okay, I bumped into her. Okay, and you're gonna go to war with someone all because they accidentally bumped into you because they were playing a game that had nothing to do with us, and yet you're the one who shoves them. I mean, if there's anyone that should have a beef with, I should have a beef with her because she did that to me. But I never did anything because what's the big deal? Okay, it happened. Okay, get up, move on, muévelo, saca war. You know. I mean, do I wish it had to end like that? Like just me to freaking go get physical with her just to show her back the fuck off, leave me alone? No, I wish it was just like grow up, leave me alone, come on, let's get rid of this. Is getting ridiculous. I'm nowhere near you. You stay there, I'll stay here. You know, this is a huge playground. You don't need to come near me. I don't need to go near you. Let me be. If I'm on the swings, you don't have to go on the swing with me. Because if you're coming on the swing with me, you're doing that to start trouble with me. Obviously, that's you, not me. But yeah, ugly girl. Ugly girl starting crap with me over nothing. But yeah, that's how people are. People say, my mom says, oh, they're doing it because they're jealous. Jealous of what? A pencil. It's a normal pencil you can get out of the store. My shirt, you can get this at the store too. I don't know. I don't know. What can you do? What can you